There we go. Okay, so let's work out question 3 from the mock test. Question 3 says that you want to add these two vectors. Now I'm going to call the first one A. Right, this is 62 degrees here. Right, and then this guy here, I'm going to call this one B, and B is 58 degrees. This one is 11 meters. This one here is 13 meters. Okay, I think that's right, isn't that right? There we go, right? Okay, so what's our first step? Yeah, you got to find the sides, right? We got to break this thing into components, and so let's draw those components. First step 1 is to draw them. So left and up, and right. Okay. This side here is 11 cos 62 because it touches. Remember, cosine touches the angle, right? This side here is 11 sine 62. This side here is 58. Whoops. This side here is 13, and it's opposite that, right? So it's sine 58. This side here is 13 cos. Yeah? Okay, so let's bust those out. Okay, so 11 cos 62. Can you guys be quieter than this even? Okay, so when you do this, you want to write down a lot of digits, right? You probably want to write down at least 4 digits, I'm thinking. Okay, and then 11 sine 62. This is 9.712. Okay, so now we're going to write down A and B, and I highly recommend that you make yourself a table. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to have A plus B. I highly recommend that you make yourself a table like this. Okay, so A is going to be, if you look at it, this side here is the x component and it's negative, right? So negative, right, because it's to the left. This is the y component and it's positive, right? So it's positive 9.712, okay? And that makes sense because this angle is bigger than 45 degrees, right? So you'd expect the opposite side to be bigger than the adjacent side. Just saying, right? Okay. And then B, I haven't figured out B, so let's go 13 sine 58. And this one is 11.025. Let's draw a line. Let's keep these guys separated. Okay, so 13 sine 58 is this. 13 cos 58 is 6.888. So I'll go 6.889. There we go. Right? So now let's look at it. Which one's the x, which one's the y, which one's positive, which one's negative? X is what? Which one's this? Is this x or y? That's the y. Why? Because it goes up. All right, good. Right? And then this one's the x, isn't it? So 11. Okay, is either one of these positive, negative? No, because this guy's in the first quadrant solidly, right? Okay, this one had a negative x because it was to the left. But other than that, I think we're good, right? So what's our next step? Add them, yeah, add x to x and y to y. Okay, so I'm going to go 5, whoops, negative 5.164 plus 11.025. And I get 5.861. And then I add these guys, 9.712 plus right? Okay. Now what's the next step? Take these guys, draw a picture of it, right? So this means go to the right, right? Because this is in the x direction, right? This is in the y direction. If we had to write it as a vector, it would look like that, right? Okay. So I'm going to go over 5.861 861. I'm going to go up 16.601. Why did I draw that line longer than this line? It's a lot bigger than it, right? It should be actually 3 times as long, almost, right? Okay, but I'm drawing it longer. That way, if I get this angle to be like 37 degrees, I will seriously doubt that. I know that angle has to be bigger than 45, don't I? Right? That's like one of the mistakes people make. So this is 16.601. This is 5.861. Okay, the magnitude here, the magnitude is the square root of square root of 17.6. Did I get the answer right? Here we go. So the magnitude's right. This is 17.6, whatever the units are. Okay. And then, are these meters? Yeah, it does. It says meters. Okay, so these guys are all meters. Those are meters. Okay. And then to find this angle here, right, the angle on that is that it's the inverse tangent of opposite over adjacent, right? 601, and then ta-da. So I'm going to go second tan 16.601 divided by 5 point, and that's 70.55 or 70.6. Is that also the answer? Yeah. There we go. Okay, so this would be your picture. Make sure when you draw it that you draw an arrow representing the hypotenuse. Okay, I will reject. I will not give full points to that drawing. Okay, because I don't know you know which direction it is. Okay, so make sure that you put arrows on there. Make sure if you find an angle that you label which angle you find. Okay, make sure. The main thing that people mess up is this. They mess up the components. So if you're going to do the page, I would review the components. If you go to the website, you'll see there's tons of examples of components. Work through a few of those. I highly recommend that you're ready to do that page on the test, because then you can like panic and not do another page, right? If you're ready to do them all. Are we good on that, on vectors? Okay.